Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2021 Ram 1500 Classic Warlock. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. You know, this is an amazing budget truck. It's like the perfect Frankenstein of different parts from other Frankenstein's monster. I know there's gonna be one guy in the comment section that's gonna be like, didn't you mean Frankenstein's monster? Frankenstein was the guy. Well, you know what? Maybe I did mean Frankenstein. Maybe I meant that this truck was a genius inventor like no other. Don't try to finish my analogies for me, Tim. Before we begin, I want to thank Brown Daub Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for allowing me to review this truck. For all your Chrysler Jeep Dodge or Ram needs, you can visit Brown Daub right off of Route 33 in Easton, Pennsylvania, or at their website, browndaub.net. Think of the Warlock like an F-150 STX or a Silverado Custom. This is going to be Ram's budget truck, but uniquely, it's built on the 4th generation platform and rebadged as a classic model. So the cool thing is that it's going to take the best parts of the 4th generation Rams and put them on this truck. For instance, up front here, you're going to get the grille and headlight assembly of the 4th generation Ram Rebel, which I've always thought looked fantastic. Up front here, you are going to get halogen headlights and turn signals, but you do get LED fog lights, and below that, you're going to get 2 tow hooks. Overall, not too bad up here. I think this looks really aggressive. Moving underneath the hood in the Warlock, it's powered by a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, making 269 horsepower and 305 pound-feet of torque, and that is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And putting the hood down here, moving on to the profile, you're going to get 275/60R Goodyear Wrangler tires around these nice blacked out 20-inch wheels. Then if we move up to the door here, you'll have your Ram 1500 Classic badge, and then up to the mirrors, they are pretty basic black plastic, though that does match the rest of the truck's kind of matte grayed out appearance. This does have heating in the mirrors and they are power, but other than that, not much to write home about. Same with the door handles, black plastic, very basic. Though if we move to the rear of the Warlock, the taillights right here are from the more premium higher models of the 4th generation Ram, so that's really nice to see. I always really like the design of those. Then moving down here, you do have parking sensors incorporated into that matte black bumper. And then up here, you have your blacked out Ram badge, 4x4, and your backup camera right here. Dropping the tailgate, it is not dampened on this particular Warlock, but you do get a spray and bed liner, and there is some tie downs right there. Other than that, pretty basic and utilitarian back here. Let's move to the interior. Moving to the interior of this Warlock, the door trim is very nicely finished on here. I really like the stitching that goes along here, and then it is soft touch up here. Moving down here before we step inside, it does have power seats with power lumbar support, and if I'm not mistaken, these look like the seats from the newer Rams, but I could be wrong. I believe these are 5th gen seats. Either way, they're very, very comfortable cloth seats. You'll have a driver's side grab handle to get inside. Closing the door here and turning it on. Now this does, I'll show you quick, does use the traditional older key of Ram, very dated on this key, but it gets the job done. Lock, unlock, and panic. That's pretty much all you get. And then you plug it in right here, and that's what turns on the engine. Pretty decent sound for a V6, but anyway, moving to the steering wheel, it's pretty nice. I mean, nothing to write home about. You'll get most of your controls on here for the center screen. You can go to a couple of different things on here. Pretty basic though, you know, speedometer, vehicle info, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. It's very basic black and white, though again, this is kind of the budget truck. It's nothing super crazy. And then you'll have your cruise control buttons on here. Interestingly, no buttons on the back for your volume or channel changing. Pretty bare bones. Though over here you do get your lighting controls. And then down here, this does have the newer shifter. So you spin this, you put your foot on the brake and you spin this to shift into different modes. And it does have a pretty decent reaction. It does have a solid click when you put it in there. And then you have your 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive settings down here. If we throw it in reverse, this is embarrassing. Very tiny screen in here, though it does have moving lines. Doesn't even fill up the tiny screen with the backup camera. The resolution is not great, but it is nice to have the backup camera. Putting it back into park, very basic little touchscreen. It's so silly. I mean, I don't even know. It's cool to have a touchscreen, but at this point, it's just wild how tiny it is. This thing has to be maybe 4 or 5 inches. It's not big at all. And it's pretty basic. You get your Bluetooth, your radio, you can throw a compass on there, and that pretty much takes up the whole screen. It gets the job done. If you're just looking for a truck to work, I think the screen is really not going to be a major concern for most people. You do have a little storage area up here that says RAM, and then below that you'll get your hazards, your AC, and then even further down you'll have your tow haul modes, your traction control off, and your parking sensors. Additionally, over here you do get a household outlet. Above that is a small storage area, and then you do get dual glove boxes. So this one comes up, and then you can also open this lower one, which is always nice to see in these bigger trucks. And then there's some more storage below that climate vent on the other side as well. Surprisingly, this does have a power rear sliding window, which is wild. So if we hit that and we can open it up, really nice to see on the Warlock. That is not usually included on the lower trim trucks, but this particular one does have it. Then down here, you do have spots to hold your phone, and then you do have a 12 volt and some small storage in here with some cup holders. And then you do have a massive center armrest that opens twofold. So you can open this top part, and there's 2 USBs right there and an auxiliary. And then you can open the bottom for even more storage down here, which is always really nice to see. As I mentioned, it's kind of this lower parts bin truck. I mean, it's very cool what you get. I do wish it did have the bigger infotainment system and a slightly better quality backup camera, but for the price, the rest of the features in this truck are surprisingly good. I would say I wish it had the 5.7 liter V8 in it, but overall, it's a pretty respectable truck, and it's got a lot of features. I've been seeing these things on the road all over the place, and I figured I gotta review one of those things. I wanna see what they come with, because clearly these trucks are selling. Moving to the rear seats, I have the driver's seat where I would be sitting at 5'9", and this is an absolute joke of rear legroom. I have 0 legroom. In fact, I'm pushed back even a little bit, but the headroom is decent. I mean, it's got a little cutout back here. Definitely not good for longer road trips. This is actually the first time I'm doing a full-size pickup truck that I would not recommend for long road trips, because it is very cramped back here in this quad cab. Let's see about rear amenities. Well, there is not much back here. You get a Ram logo. I mean, that's something. And then you do get a 12 volt outlet back there, so you can plug something in for charging. And then you do get 2 cup holders on the floor. No center armrest though, unfortunately. And as I mentioned, these seats are really cramped. At least you do get the rear window. That's always nice. And then you do get hangers up here and a dome light. Wow, a dome light. Alrighty, driving the Ram 1500 Warlock. As I mentioned before, I've seen a lot of these out and about in my day-to-day, so I was super thrilled to finally be able to get my hands on one of these to review for you guys, because I wanted to answer, is this really a good budget truck? Is it the best one in the segment? And I honestly think it's up there. This offers features like the power sliding rear window that none of the other trucks in the class do. And I think that that's so awesome coming from Ram, and their interior quality is just bar none. Amazing interior quality on these trucks. And I have to commend Dodge for that. Definitely think that the 5th generation Rams have better interior quality, but this one's still very nice nonetheless. Now, of course, the infotainment leaves some stuff to be desired. This Pentastar V6 is okay. I've done a lot of vehicles with the Pentastar V6, and I'm very used to it. So, you know, let's see, opening it up here. It's responsive. It's responsive. It's not crazy. Towing and payload's okay. If you're looking for a full-size truck that you can use and you don't need a lot of the bells and whistles, I think that this really fulfills that. You know, the pickup is pretty decent on it. Opening it up here a little bit more. It sounds okay too. It doesn't even sound bad for a V6. That's quite an impressive feat on its own. And it corners okay. It corners like a truck. Feels like a full-size truck, as opposed to something like an F-150 that feels a little bit sportier in its cornering and a little bit more car or SUV-like. I think I forgot to mention too, this is a debadged Warlock, which I like even more. I like just no stickers or anything. Traditionally, you would get like Warlock stickers on the back, and I actually prefer it without those features. And so I think that this is like the best of both worlds when it comes to that 1500 budget truck in that category. If you're looking at other reviews, I also do have reviews of the STX F-150, but I do not have a review of the Silverado Custom. Those have been hard to come by recently, but I'm gonna try to review one for you guys. Other than that, that's pretty much going to conclude this driving segment and the video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I so dearly appreciate it. I love you guys as an audience. And if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section below, as I am a Christian, and I like to do a weekly Bible verse. So here is that. With that Bible verse, I'm gonna take off, guys. I'll see you next time.